Well guys, still got a little snow on the ground outside, so that means it's time for more projects on the old truck. All right guys, as always, it's nice and warm and toasty here in the shop, so we are taking full advantage of this. Last time we left you guys, we got all this beautiful engineering taken care of. And me and you were having a lengthy discussion about cross members. Man behind the scenes is like, let's just go ahead and build a cross member. And I'm like, let me think about this. Let me think about this for a minute before we build this cross member. And I'm glad I thought about it, because we overlooked something very, very, very obvious.
And I still haven't seen it. I'm still mind boggled.
You have no idea what we missed, do you?
No.
Are you ready to have your mind blown? I'm gonna give you a hint. Why do we need to build a cross member?
And we already got one.
We already got one.
Well, I seen that too.
Where's it at then?
Right here.
No, that's not it. Look at him thinking. I hope I don't break the camera.
Well, what are you talking about if
What was the last thing I told you last night that we need to do today?
But that channel's going down here.
No, we need to remove the rear cross member for the dump body.
Ah.
Why don't we just use the rear cross member moving forward?
Ah. That ain't bad thinking right there.
That's right, folks. It's more than a hat rack. This is why I wanted to think about it last night.
The reason you came up with this idea, well, one, it's a great idea. But my idea was so good yesterday.
I'm not sure my audio picked up. What was that?
I can't repeat myself.
What was that?
You'll have to look in the camera to see what I
I'll go
said.
back and make it repeat.
Well, one, it's a great idea. Was you seeing how good of an idea I had for making a cross member, and you actually agreed with me.
Yeah, you had a good idea for making one.
And you could not tolerate it. You couldn't stand it. It was getting to you last night. You probably were awake all night long thinking, and it popped in your head.
No, but why make one?
It does make perfect sense.
So here's what we got is this cross member here actually has to come out to get the hinge for the dump body on there. This cross member will get replaced by a piece of 3/4 plate, which will be our pintle hitch.
Yep.
Our pintle hitch adapter plate. So it ends up not necessarily needing to be used. It's got some slight damage right here from where somebody hooked a tow hook onto it, but I know a guy I think can fix that pretty easy.
Yeah.
So here's my thought. I'm gonna start in on all the plumbing. I'll kind of walk you guys through what I got going there with all the plumbing. I think it's gonna be easier if I get the majority of it mapped out and hooked up, and then I'll go back and kind of walk you through what I actually did and what goes where and why it goes where. But what I'm thinking, and maybe I'm just using this as an excuse to start the truck, I don't think we need to pull this truck forward 6-8 feet.
Yep.
Well, we can get back in behind here, let you get this cross member out.
Very good excuse to start the truck.
Yeah, let you get this cross member out, and then we'll get it reworked in up there and be in good shape. What do you think?
I believe so.
Is this
like your idea?
Is this going to be like the first drive? Like, we're only going 4 feet. Is this going to be the first drive?
It is going to be the first drive.
All right. Oh, I can't stay. All right, let's do it. Well, she didn't fall apart.
No.
All right, so that's
Held together pretty good for his first trip.
Yeah, the emergency brake's a little inconvenient, but
All right, got all kinds of room back here now.
yeah, I think pretty much everything on the back of this thing needs to come off.
All right, this comes off.
That comes off. Now we're going to save this. We'll end up reusing it on the new setup, but
This.
yep.
Okay.
But
This all comes off.
all comes off.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get to work.
Have fun. Alright man, behind the scenes my GoPro battery died during time lapse, so would you like to explain your struggles?
It's coming out like a breeze. Actually, it was coming out sooner than I thought it'd come out. That's why I wanted to, safety first, I wanted to go ahead and get the overhead hoist hooked up to it. Isn't that what you see?
No, what I've
That's not what you
seen,
see.
I've got half this truck plumbed back up. I was ready for lunch an hour and a half ago.
Good, I'm hungry.
And you're back here singing.
Let's go to lunch. We'll get back
You're back
with
here
it.
singing to yourself, casting, going, "What in the HE double hockey sticks is holding?" You think you got it now?
I think I got it.
All right, we'll let you do your thing
Yeah.
here. Go for it.
I'm hoping I can work that something right now. Oh, it's this one.
That thing just does not want
It
to
does
come
not
out.
like me. I mean,
I don't know what's holding. I can see it there. The frame's still. You see it back in there? It's ripping the C channel.
C-channel's junk. You didn't want to save that, did you?
Well, I
You
guess
didn't want
not
to save it.
now.
I didn't hear you say that. So we'll show them how we get that.
How it works?
Yeah, I'm gonna show them how it works. The torch. What you call it? The magic wrench, right?
Smoke wrench.
Yes.
You gonna tell them about your safety violations today?
Oh man. Well, fire watch. That was the problem.
Firewatch is what saved your butt. Why?
Well, that's why we have fire watches in the shop.
All right. See that little bit holding back in there?
I would have had that cut 10 minutes ago.
I tried saving it for you, boss. Smoke the channel will be saveable yet.
Okay.
That'll work.
I know a good welder that can patch it up if you do need it.
Yeah, I think Jason's coming to visit next week.
Good deal. We're gonna need him. Okay. Keep on walking it out.
Keep on walking it out. Let her, she's gonna fly. You ready?
Yep. Waiting on you.
Well, it's just that easy.
Look, I had that hooked up perfect. You know what? That balanced out perfect. So basically, if they wouldn't have had 2 welds on this, it'd have been done, what, an hour ago maybe? Well, I did a lot of beating and banging before I actually got up in there and looked at it, and then I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And as ugly as them welds looked, I cannot believe they were holding.
They held.
Yeah, they held good.
So what'll end up happening here, we're about as far as we can go on the back of this frame because we gotta get our dump body on here. We'll get our pin location. This frame will end up getting notched. The hinge pin will actually sit down into it. And then whenever that's all said and done, we'll weld a 3/4 plate on the back of here. Very similar to what the C8500's got on it. And then it'll get our pintle hitch and our glide hands and all that stuff on there. So I say we take lunch on this adventure. We'll come back. I'll show you guys what I got done as far as my plumbing goes. And then we need to get that cross member laid out up around the other end.
You told me very first thing was this channel, right?
Yeah, we gotta remember to put those on there. That is the cross brace for the lift axle. The destruction said we had to put it on, so we gotta put it on. All right, man, behind the scenes, I got my first round of plumbing done. Isn't it beautiful? Now, don't judge me. It's not tidied up yet, but let me kind of walk you through what we got going on. So, first thing we had to do is we gotta have brakes on the lift axle. So got us the good old-fashioned Bendix R12 relay valve there, and it basically just tees into the system. So got 2 lines coming into it. This is the main air supply line on the bottom here, coming from the air tanks on the truck. It supplies the main air that actually actuates the chambers down there. That line continues on back. It catches the exact same valve back there that's on the back there. This line here that comes through is what they call the signal line. So whenever you push the brake pedal down the truck, it builds air pressure in this line. The more air pressure you put in this line, the more air pressure this valve puts down there to that. This would be very similar to an electric relay. Anybody's familiar with how electric relays work? Like on a winch, you have a small input signal line, and then you have your main air source down below. So very, very simple, very, very basic setup. Works pretty good. Now the other line here is for the air lockers on the rear end. And what's the other line for? Something important on the back.
Oh, yeah.
I done forgot. It's hooked up though. Good news, it's hooked up, I promise. Now, I did splice them all right here, but back here you'll notice there's only 1 splice. I went ahead and ran all the new lines to the new components to eliminate a lot of splices. Actually, the only one I spliced right there was the air locker for the inner axle there, and I didn't really see. That's not super important, so I didn't see it run all the way through. So, with all that being said, you ready to see if all this works?
I want to make sure I don't hear no air, yeah.
I want to make sure everything works. I can deal with a small air leak. I just hope it's plumbed right. So, all right. I don't want to fire this truck up in the shop and make a nasty, smoky mess. So we're going to use shop air. You going to hook me up here? See this water hooked up.
Getting there.
Hasn't blown out yet. All right, man, behind the scenes, we have air on the truck. All the air can stay in the truck. So what do you want to do first? Let's do the...
I want to lift the axle first.
we don't have that yourself again. All
All
right.
right.
First thing we're gonna do, let's do parking brake.
Okay.
So whenever I hit the parking brake, you should see those down there pull off. You ready?
Yep.
Gotta get a handle on this thing. All right, parking brake, here we go. Did it work?
Yeah. Now hit it again.
Sounded good.
Huh?
Sounded good.
Yeah. Don't move much.
Not supposed to.
Yeah, I figured it would move quite a bit. Yeah, it does. It moved.
Check the back axle.
Okay. That one moved good. That one works.
So now I'm gonna hit the surface brake and it should come back out. You ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Oh, that's the gas pedal. That's working awesome. I can see it moving up here. Check out the, get a little video of that lift axle going back and forth. See it down there?
Uh-uh.
Go all the
hit
way
'em.
down the bottom in pancake chambers. You ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Alright, we got one thing left to check. Inner axle. No air leaks.
It was almost like you set me up going to the back, because wherever you pop them loose, that air, for some reason, there was one area that you didn't clean real good, and it was full of dust.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I hate
it
how
got
that
us
happens.
good.
Man, everything works. All right, I think
Yes.
at this point we're going to, I think from this point we need to get this cross member figured out. And then after we get, I'll help you get the cross member figured out. We got to straighten it out. And then after we get it mocked up where we want it, I'll let you bolt that off, and I'll get the actual raise and lower and up and downy part.
Then we get to my lift axle, huh?
Get you a lift axle.
All right.
Now think about this. We get this lift axle plumbed up. We get that cross member in. If we can get this thing out the door, we may have to go for a test drive.
I agree.
Wouldn't that be cool?
I'm gonna let you hit the brakes a few times out there. Once we get rolling, make sure it works, then I'll get in the truck with
The
you.
commitment level of my craftsmanship, I think you just need to go out there and lay down the driveway. I'll grab about 5 gears and stop before I hit you.
We'll begin with Maggie.
Poor dog. We get that dog. All right. Let's figure out what we need to do with that stinking cross.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the issue we want to fix when we put this back in the truck. It looks like somebody probably hooked a tow hook or a chain to that at some point in life. But what's your master plan? A little heat, a little grunt?
Heating and beating.
Heating and beating. Did you just coin that term? Or is that a bullmaker term?
We use it quite often. Do a lot of heating and beating.
All right, let's do some heating and beating. Well, it's not perfect, but she's pretty close. Aaron's gonna clean that up a little bit where that crack was at. We're gonna weld it up, and we're gonna figure out how to get her bolted in the truck. All right, Aaron's got his cross member straightened up. I went ahead and jumped in and started drilling all the holes over there. See the Swiss, what is that, Swiss cheese? Is that what they call that?
Yep.
So I'm sure you guys seen me use this before. This is my Typhoon mag drill. It's an absolute 100% Chinese special. But I got a really nice Milwaukee sitting right over there on the shelf. But this is kind of my go-to. You know why?
It runs?
Well, it's way lighter.
Oh, lighter.
It's heavy enough trying to get that thing in there, and that thing weighs 3 times the size and it's twice as big. Now that thing's got its place. But honestly, I'll use the Chinese one first. Now, I say that, I don't know if it'll make it or not, but these little mag drills are almost a must. My 5/8 angular cutter, our slugger bit, it's about done. So I'm hoping we make it through this round of holes.
I got your new 3/4 bit.
Yeah, well, we may end up putting 3/4 holes in these before it's over with. All right, man, behind the scenes, while you're having social hour, I got all your holes drilled for you.
I'm still having social hour. I've got my piece ready to go.
I'm just hoping they all fit. It's a lot of holes. All right, so I think we need to put the bottom.
See ya.
See you, Dwight. I think we need to put the bottom bracket in on both sides first. I think we need to set that down in there and put the top brackets on. Cross our fingers, hope they all fit, and then we'll rattle it down. That's an absolutely flawless plan.
I'm just hoping you checked all the holes because you said.
Well, hey, now this is a little bit of a puzzle, and I'll tell you why. All those brackets, the holes are not equally spaced on them. So you got to put it back where I drilled it, and I didn't mark them, so have fun with that.
Yeah, I'll hold the camera.
I'll give you a hint. Those two belong on that side, and these two belong on this side. You just got to find out which one's top and which one's bottom.
Do we got enough bolts?
Well, did you save all the bolts we took out?
The ones I didn't have to cut.
Go ahead and cut one. All right, that side first.
All right.
So far, so good. Now you cut a notch in that cross member.
Yep.
It should allow all these hoses to go through. We'll probably end up putting some hose or something on there to protect it. Now that's what I'm saying. You gotta go way left or way right to get her to fit. Oh, look at her go. Look at her go. There they are, there they are. All right, I said we get all the bolts started in this bottom, and then we'll come in and do all the bolts on the top. Well, man, behind the scenes, the bottom.
Lucky. You got real lucky.
Is it lucky or good, buddy? Is it lucky or good? The bottom section fit rather smoothly. We can only hope this top section does the same.
Now,
you want your side first?
this?
You got to put it in here.
Okay.
Okay. Go all the way back.
All the way back.
Slide.
I might have to move my fingers.
Oh. Like a glove.
You drilled these holes wrong.
I didn't drill those holes. Those holes were drilled from the factory. All right, I'll hold this, get a few bolts in there. All right, you guys seen us put the bottom side in. We'll get the top side in here, and then we'll rattle this thing down. But it should be pretty much the same ordeal. All right, I'm coming, I'm helping. Hold on a second. Well, I didn't fit too bad at all.
No,
we had one hole we had to get aligned a little bit there, and I think it had more to do with this cross member being tweaked than anything. You ready to...
That cross member don't look near as bad now.
Nope. Nope, looks good. There's a chance we may have, this hoist box is gonna sit right here. It may share some of these holes, that's fine. At least we'll have that cross member in there. A cross member is there for a few things. One, the lift axle says it needs one within 5 inches of the front of it. Basically, that lift axle is gonna put a lot of strain on the bottom of the frame rail. This cross member keeps them from tweaking or twisting in and out. And then this transfer case is only mounted on rubber, so we need something to keep the frame from spreading right here as well. So that perfectly relocated, precision designed, perfectly tweaked cross member should do the trick. Let's rattle this thing down. Alrighty, there she is, guys. That all rattled down. Should serve its purpose. Pretty pleased with that. Aaron's gonna go through, he's got the mag drill set up. We're gonna go ahead and finish drilling all these holes. That way we can kind of clean our shavings mess up all at one time. While he's doing that, I'm gonna start getting the airbags, lift control, all of this plumbed in. Gotta find a way to get up there in the cab and figure, yeah. I'll figure that out. I got some thinking to do. Yeah. So anyways, let me sort this out, and you guys will be the first to know what I decided to do.
But you ain't gonna let me know first?
Nope, it's gonna be them.
Oh, really?
Alrighty, now that I've got all this plumbed up, let me kind of show you how this works. It's actually a pretty simple little system. There's not a whole lot going on here. So this is the controller that goes in the cab. It's got two adjustments or two controls on it. This is the lift axle up and down. And this here is a regulator. It basically controls how much air goes in those airbags, which is a direct correlation to how much weight this axle is going to carry. Now, I'm hoping, and it should come true, that after we get this truck done, I think it'd be a really cool video. I think Officer Hoover's going to come down. We're going to get his portable scales out and probably put a load on this truck, and then we'll kind of go over axle weights and what legal load I can haul and get his take on any of that. In theory, once we get this adjusted, it should just pretty much stay put. We'll put a mark on it and leave it alone. So, get a little ahead of myself on that, but for now, we're going to get this thing plumbed up. So basically on the back of this thing, it's got three connections. So this is going to be your air inlet coming in. This right here is going to go out. This is going to be the air that's going to supply the lift bags right there. And then this connection over here coming out of the regulator will go to those main airbags back there. So basically what I've done, I've come out of these lift airbags, come over and teed, ran one air hose up into the cab, which will connect to right here. These back airbags back here, I've done the same thing. Teed, come around, went up in the cab. It'll connect to this one right here. And then I've went down below and pulled a plug out of the air tank here and grabbed air supply. And it's gonna go to the inlet right there. Now, I'm gonna throw this in the cab temporarily, because what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get this in the cab, I'm gonna look everything over, make sure everything's tight, safe, and secure. And at this point, I think what we need to do is take this truck out on the road, go for a test drive, proof of concept. All right, it's a good excuse to get it out and see what it looks like and see how it runs. But just want to go over everything, make sure we don't have any unforeseen clearance issues, no brake issues, everything, no vibrations, nothing crazy. If everything goes good, once we get it out, we'll power wash everything off, steam clean the frame, and that way it'll be ready for paint. I did not have the frame sandblasted. You guys have mentioned 100 times in the comments, and I agree with you. There's military grade paint and some nasty, nasty stuff. It's also some incredibly good stuff. The only reason I had the cab done is it had 5 layers on it, had some deep paint chips on it, and I wanted to get back to a good base to start with. But as far as the chassis and stuff goes, we're just going to steam clean it, degrease it, and maybe touch up with a wire wheel a little bit here and there, and spray her out black. That's gonna be it on that. Now, one other thing you guys may notice too is I have used a combination of compression fittings and push lock fittings. There's a reason for that, and some of you guys may think I'm crazy, but whenever it comes to important stuff like brakes, I'm not a big fan of push lock fittings. I know all new trucks have push lock fittings on it. In my 20-year driving career, in 2 different times, I've had to get on the brakes hard, and one of those push lock fittings has come apart on me, and I've lost some braking, not all braking. So I kind of steer away from them a little bit in braking applications or anything of major importance. Now on these airbags and stuff like this, they're the cat's meow. They're awesome. They work great. They're quick, easy. You can get them undone if you need to. Love them. But I don't know. After the first time I thought it was a fluke, the second time I thought, nah, that's more than a fluke. So if I have one fail now, I go back to compression fitting on brakes. But anyways, with all that being said, let's hop up in the cab. Let's throw that controller in there real quick. We'll put some air on the truck. We'll hope the lift axle works like it's supposed to. If that's the case, we're gonna Austin Powers this thing out of the shop and take her for a ride. I've got these all marked whenever I ran them in here, as far as which one goes where. My plan is, there's also gonna be a dump controller in here for the dump box. And this is the 6-wheel drive switch. So after I get everything up here, I'm probably gonna have Aaron, or I'll build some nice little box, and I'll probably get all these controls moved into one like central pedestal. But for now we're just going to use what we got. So this is the inlet. So that one goes there. This one here comes from the airbag lift axle. So that one goes there. This is where them push locks are really nice. And this one goes to the main airbags. Boom, that's simple. All right, so pull to raise. So we'll leave it in that position. Let's put some air on the truck and see what happens. Well guys, check that out. As the truck aired up, lift axle picked up. Got about 7.5 inches of clearance underneath it. That's absolutely awesome. I'm kind of curious whenever this truck gets loaded. A lot of these measurements are based off a loaded truck. So I've kind of skewed everything a couple inches to accommodate for that. But going back to our previous conversation, I got a lot of adjustability built into this thing, which I really like. So if I'm off a little bit, I should be able to tweak it a little bit. Now, a couple things. I'm thinking about building some sort of bump stop right here. I got a little bit of concerns with this being an off-road truck, rolling over a ditch or something. I want that axle to have something solid to hit up against so we don't destroy airbags or anything like that. The opposite side of that, I think I'm gonna put a chain on it so that way it can only go down so far. Kind of force it to stay in its operating range, but let's flip the knob and see what happens. All right, here we go. Climb up here, it's a long ways up. All right. The lift axle engaged. That works absolutely awesome and 100% flawless. I'm tickled to death with that. Like I said, we'll have some fine-tune adjusting to do once we get the truck loaded and figure out where we're at. I'm sure a few of you are going to comment, and you're correct. It is legal in the state of Indiana to have the controller in the cab. I know a lot of states it's not. I don't really get that a whole lot, but here's what it is, I guess. But for us here in Indiana, it's 100% legal to have the controller in the cab. I'm going to put it there, not because I want to be adjusting on it, mostly because I just want to keep it out of the weather. So, anticipation's killing me. I got to get the fuel tank mounted back down and get the shop cleaned up. And let's roll this thing out the door. Well, guys, unfortunately, that's going to be a wrap on this video, but trust me, you're going to want to stay tuned to the next one. It's going to be one epic test drive, I promise you. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the build so far. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, guys, we'll catch you on the next one.